The War is Over, the Stonehouse Series, Chapter 40. Tobias sat on his knees at the edge of town. The little boy had a stick in his hands and was watching ants go in and out of an anthill on a path to a doomed caterpillar. He pressed the point of his stick into the dusty ground and dragged it across their path, creating a cavern about 2 inches deep. The ants had surrounded the caterpillar and were lowering the entire bug into the ground by digging around and under it. The caterpillar was sinking. "Where's my mom?" The little boy's mother held Tobias within her left peripheral vision, about 10 feet away. She's still talking at the baker's wife. They could yak all day. When they start talking, way back, even this morning, my caterpillar was minding his own business, crawling across the ground looking for a bush to climb and leaves to eat. But now, he's going to be bug lunch. Tobias gazed down into the ravine he created halfway between the anthill and his caterpillar. The ants were forced to march one by one up a ridge down into a deep valley, climbing out of the valley and up and over another ridge to get to their caterpillar. I suppose they're hungry too. Tobias took a twig as big as his little finger and put it in place as a roadway over his boy-made obstacle. The ants started crossing the valley on his finger-sized bridge. From the east and further out of town, a misplaced noise reached his little boy ears. Huh? What's going on? What are people cheering for? Tobias looked up to see what was going on. Centered in on roadway, the head of the man appeared from over a crest in a hill, and Tobias stood up to get a better look. From his 3'4" tall stature, he could sort of see, through a growing crowd, a man riding on a donkey. I've seen his face before, I think. He squinted his eyes again. Reflective morning sunlight bounced off the dusty road. He put a chubby little hand up to his red hair to block out the direct sunlight and climbed up on a rock to get a better view. I have seen that man before. I remember where. His eyebrows went straight up and his eyes popped wide open. He jumped up and down, and he fell off his rock. He got up and ran around and grabbed onto his mom's robe and started jerking on it. "Mama, Mama," squealed the excited boy. "It's him! It's him! It's him! He's the one, I remember him. He's the one." His mama wasn't listening. She was too deep in conversation about what Rabbi Gershwin's oldest daughter had done. Tobias darted out and ran for the man, his chubby little legs just pounding the ground. The man now was surrounded with children. Other people were there also, but children were running back and forth and jumping up and down. The little redhead hid behind a fat woman's robe and was holding tight to some extra cloth by her hip with his chubby fingers. He peeked out from around the robe. A little girl appeared right behind him. She looked over his shoulder and exclaimed, "That man glued my daddy's leg back on. A giant rock had smashed it, but that man glued it back on." "My Uncle Aaron was dead," said the little redhead Tobias to the girl, "and they were going to put him in a hole in the ground. But that man sent words to him and made him be alive again." They both looked at each other, clapped their little hands together, jumped up and down, and ran with the other children. There was another man holding on to the halter rope leading the donkey the man was riding on, and a bunch of big people were following along behind. Tobias stopped a moment to watch some big kids, climbing trees and cutting big green branches off and throwing them down. What in the world? Other people were picking up the branch leaves and laying them down in front of the donkey. Why? They must think he's special too. Some people took off their robe coats and laid them down on the road, right in the way of the donkey. The donkey had to step right on them. Maybe I should. I think I would get in trouble if I did that. He ran up next to the man on the donkey. I know you. You are the man who made my uncle alive again. He was dead. They were going to put him in a hole in the ground, but you made him alive again. Thank you, mister. Tobias bumped into another little boy, and they both fell down. As they were getting up, Tobias said, "That man made my uncle alive again." "Well," said the little boy, "he fixed my Nana. She was broken, so she couldn't come and visit us. But he fixed her, and she ain't broken no more. My Nana, she loves me. She made me this robe. See?" he declared, holding his arms out and showing off his robe. They were skipping along next to the man on the donkey now. "My daddy says that man's the king," shouted another boy. "Well, my daddy says he's the forever king," declared another. "He fixed my big brother," announced a boy with a green robe. "He was nutty in the head. My mom said I couldn't play with him. But he ain't nutty anymore. He plays with me now, and he even cleans my room." Further into the city they went. A girl with long braids told the boys, "Bad men made my daddy move away to an icky place because his skin was falling off. But that man, he put my daddy's skin back on, and he told my daddy to go home. Now Mommy doesn't cry anymore 'cause Daddy came home." The girl in braids ran up to the man on the donkey and said, "Thank you, mister, for putting my daddy's skin back on. Mommy's happy now, and she makes pancakes." They were at the big stone gate now, and the man got up off the donkey, but he didn't stand up. The man got down on his knees in the dirt. Tobias ran around some legs and got to the man and gave him a big hug, and he said, "Thank you, mister." The girl with the braids was there too. She grabbed his face with both hands and kissed him on the cheek. "That's from my mom." She kissed his other cheek. "And that one is from me." More children ran to him for hugs. And after a time, the man got up and went inside the big stone gate. In the garden of God, hundreds of seeds planted over thousands of years were producing fruit, which were all reaching maturity at the same time. Soon, it would be time for harvest.